I'm watching what you talking about. God damn.
Yeah.
But we ready, Alex? All right, let's get back to it, man. Yo, what's poppin'? You know what time it is. Your boy, Mr. J Hill Podcast. We are in the building. This guy to my right is nothing short than special, man. Yeah, man, the movement is crazy. And we got to put the doctor in front of it now, man.
Yeah,
Dr. Yahki Awakened, man. What's good, dog?
Man, I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm all right. How long have you had your doctor, or is that something that?
So what happened was since 2010, between 2010 and 2014, I received my certificate of master herbalist, clinical master herbalist. Then around 2017, we did school. I got certified as a human biologist, and then from Stanford, I became a nutritional scientist, certification in science and nutrition.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, human biology, science and nutrition. At the University of Adelaide, we had certifications in biochemistry. And then probably about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I'm not exact, I was given an honorary doctorate in natural health science for the 15 years of work that I put in the community. We did a graduation, had a ceremony, they gave me my doctorate, and yeah.
Bro, is that important? I mean, of course, you don't have to say names and nothing like that, but like with everything that we're seeing in the media, like especially with the credentials and things, is it important to have those credentials, although you still can do the business?
No.
Yeah.
Not important at all. If I'm just going to be quite frank with you, it's just a piece of paper with a white man's name on it. They don't validate who we are, what we are, when we are, why we are, where we are. It's just a validation that we have been indoctrinated and educated by another man. Yeah. Truly. So, the more degrees you got, the more programmed you is by a system that you don't control or that you haven't created. So it's good to go to these schools and learn the curriculum for you can learn the lies and pull the little truth from them. And then from that ounce of truth, regenerate it and transform it into what's real due to your experience. But to be quite frank with you, man, I learned a bunch of lies in the schools. It made me realize that being uneducated is the best education. And what I mean by being uneducated, I'm talking about uneducated in the sense of not being indoctrinated by somebody else's cultural traditions. We sit here and act like education is not a part of a cultural tradition, like science is not cultural, math is not cultural. When you go to each individual country, Chinese do their math very, very different than ours. If you look at the way they add, you look at the way they multiply, you look at the way they do their division, it's a total different system on how they calculate compared to Americans. Same thing with the Japanese. Same thing with eating traditions. You have a Chinese plate. They like rice. They like wasabi. You got a Japanese plate. You got Jamaican plates. So when you start looking at cultural traditions and cultural education, it's all different. Nobody have the same thing. It's just that us as so-called Black African Americans, we don't have one because we haven't built one. So we got to go to each individual schools to learn everybody else's culture. And Dr. Sebi said something super, super powerful probably about 15 years ago. He said, you will never see a gorilla send their gorilla children to polar bear school. So you will never see a polar bear raising a gorilla baby. You will never see it in nature. You'll never see a lion raising a hyena. You will never see it in nature. It just don't happen in nature. But when it comes to human beings and it comes to us as a people and as a species, we go to every other people and let them raise our children and let them indoctrinate our children. But we all are different. Our biology is different. I was just talking about this with Nabi the other day. It's a difference when a white man get in a car and drive down the street from when a black man get in a car and drive down the street. Whether the black man is a police officer or not, in the back of his head, he say, it's a very great possibility that I might get pulled over. And since I am a black police, I'm going to have to go the extra mile to even prove I'm a police for having this gun. Same thing with a black man that's not a police. It's even worse for him because he's a black man in a car, depending on his hair, and how he's made up, he's automatically looked as a threat. So just us having this black skin or this melanated skin coming from where we come from and seeing the biological evolutionary history that happened to our people since slavery, we automatically have a different outlook and look on life. I look at life from black eyes, from melanated eyes. I look at my situations from black eyes, from melanated eyes. So there's a different way that we look at reality based off our biological chemistry, our blood, our type, our makeup, and who we are and what happened to us from our ancestral line. So when you start looking at stuff like that, our education will have to be different, because the problems in other different communities facing our community is different. Like ours is police brutality. That's not in the white community. So the education will be different. We need to learn ways of de-escalating situations when it comes to them, being prepared for when we get pulled over to not look like a threat, or if it comes to it, having to be able to really defend ourselves and not dying in the streets, or our mothers have to come to our funeral because we got pulled over driving while black. That's a different type of education that we need, different than any other race, because they don't have that type of problem. And I just think the education system to black people or so-called melanated people is totally different from everybody else's, but instead we are learning everybody else's education when that's not our problem.
Shit, boy.
When you look at education, education is to meet the needs of a people. So you go where our people need. What do our people need? And then that's what we build our curriculum on, man. And that's the reason why I'm opening up. Well, that's the reason why my grand opening to my school is this Friday.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank
Bro,
you.
I have hella questions that you just kind of like, I don't even know if I want to ask these questions. God, bro, whew, that just threw me off in a good way. All right, yo, what is your, first of all, you're so dope. And I want to go back to that, the race thing, right?
Uh-huh.
It has to be hard, though, being so special. Because now, you being so special is almost like we alienate you, right? The people alienate you. They look at you as being above human, and that has to be a hard burden to carry.
Well, when you truly above human, it's not really. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's a hard thing, because like my life is pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. All I do is read, I study, I write, I work out. I'm playing with my technology, my healing gadgets. I'm in the clinic, and you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing healing to the people. That's what make me happy. That's where I'm at. If you really ain't on that vibe, we ain't gonna vibe anyway. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm naturally a distant person anyway, but I'm still friendly as well. I come up on you, take a picture with you, give you a hug. We could talk about healing, health, spirituality, whatever it is. But I'm technically a priest. In Hebrew, it's called Kohen. And a Kohen is literally means the set apart ones. So we can't be down in the club diddy bopping with everybody. We upstairs, you know, standing in intercession for the people. While you in the club kicking it and doing your thing, I'm upstairs on my knees, bowing 3 times a day, praying that the Most High protect you, or praying that the Most High bring you healing. So I can't do them both at once anyway. So I'm comfortable in that position because it fits me well. So I think it's a selective group of people in the world that is made to be holy and set apart to do that job. And I think just one of them is me.
Oh, for sure. And God is good, but I mean, you're still human. Like, you ain't.
Well, but human to what sense is what I'm saying.
Even though I was watching your video, right? Mm-hmm. And you were saying, I'm giving you the advice I had to take for myself.
Oh, definitely,
right?
definitely.
He was like, 2 years ago, my face was inflamed. I had to take my own advice. So, like, again, that's an aspect of being human.
Definitely,
right?
definitely. Well, I call that playing with creation, which we all have to play with creation. That's the reason why, if you look in the biblical sense, the priests, 6 months out of the year, they was in the temple. The other 6 months, they was with their family. With their family, doing their family man thing, doing, you know, eating, being merry and things like that. But when it was time to go back to their temple for the rest of the year, they went back to their temple to do the job that they was given here on earth. So I'm not saying that I'm not human in that way. Of course, you know, we learning and we are here to experience. We are consciousness experiencing ourselves in biological bodies, what we call vehicles or avatars. So, of course, we have to experience everything. We got to experience the good and the bad because we grow and we learn from that. And then we're able to basically expand our consciousness. So if we talk about it in that sense, yes. But I'm just saying I have gotten to a point where you won't ever catch me eating inflammatory foods ever again in my life. I have gotten to a point where you couldn't pay me to drink liquor. I've gotten to a point where you couldn't give me $1 million to eat a crumb of bread. So I'm just at a point in my life where I don't look at it as something human. Like, and that's the whole point when you start getting into spirituality. The whole point of spirituality is to sacrifice your animalistic fleshly nature, which is the human, and become and expand to your higher self. That's the whole point of living. We come here, we learn, we graduate, then we travel through the universe, universities. This is the school. You know what I'm saying? And we experiencing, and through this experience, we take all this data, all this information, and we transform it. So I'm just saying I'm at the transforming stage. At that transforming stage, I don't be on no earthly stuff. That's all I'm saying. So I try my hardest to truly stay away from it. I laugh, of course, I cry. You know what I'm saying? I like to kick it with my family. I slap spades with my mama, my sisters and stuff like that. But you just won't catch me in certain settings at all. You ain't finna catch me at certain restaurants at all. And you would never catch me with my refrigerator and there's some stuff in there that ain't supposed to be in there because I just graduated from that. That's all I'm saying.
In the humanity aspect of it, though, does it ever even get hard for you? Not even, it don't have to be club. It don't have to be food.
All the time, man. With much knowledge come much grief. I was just talking about that with another podcast. Knowing all I know and researching and studying and seeing what's going on in the world and, you know, what's going on with children and how 30,000 children come up missing from each different state and how every year 540,000 children come up missing and some of them are found raped and body parts hacked off and organs are missing. Then you start studying why. You start looking up black magic and witchcraft and demon gods and Baal, Peor and Baal. And you be like, man, this is a very, very satanic, diabolical, evil ass world. So, you know, knowing what I know is already a heavy burden. And then you see how big the beast is. And we don't have nuclear war bombs. We ain't got guns that can see through walls. We don't control 6G that can see through a wall and find out what you're doing. I don't have a robot that can come disarm you because you are life-threatening to a certain government, so I can send an actual robot in the house to kill you. A robot don't die. You can shoot this robot, it won't die. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got this technology, so you get to a point where you only can lean on spirit because physically, truly, there's nothing that you can do about it. So now you have to start thinking outside the box, but that's what we have melanin for we can do that. So the only way up out of this is by transcending consciousness and raising the vibrational frequency of this earth. You know what I'm saying? And you do that through love. You do that through light. You do that through organic truth. You do that through standing on principles. You do that through morals. And that's what I represent. And all of that just so happened to be what a Kohen or what a priest is.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, you special. I think it's not even about the knowledge, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's a part of it. But there's a lot of people out here who have cults. Not saying you have, but there's a lot of people who have cults. There's a lot of people who can speak a good game. There's a lot of people out here who can read and you know, say everything they read. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, your energy is special. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like,
yeah, I'm authentic.
Yeah, I'm so skeptical. Like, it's almost scary because it's like,
what you got to be though. I mean, think about all of the situations and all of the great leaders who the stuff they done. All of them locked up. Some of them, I believe, was framed. But you know, when a man with so much power and so much knowledge start operating out of ego, you get cults out of it. You know what I'm saying? Cult, short for culture. You know what I'm saying? Culture is traditions of a people, our identity. So, you know what I'm saying? People been looking for a messiah for so long. So when they think they found one, they personalize it, they idolize it, and they feel like that person can do no wrong. And the moment that person with all that power feel like he can do no wrong, he start doing all the wrong. But the thing is, it's called chromatic energy. It's going to always catch up to you and get you. So, you know, you see the fall of a lot of our people coming to power. Not only I feel like it's government operations, but again, you know what I'm saying, we get beside ourselves a lot. And there's plenty of times throughout my life where I was on a high horse and I had to sit down and had to recognize I was on a high horse. There's plenty of times in my life where I said something wrong and it took me months to go and say, you know what, family, that was wrong. Let me correct myself. But I always did it. You know what I'm saying? It might have took me a while, but I never was above the mission. I realized that this message and this mission will go on whether I'm here or not. Because I'm here pushing the same message as the ancestors that came before me. And it was people before them that's pushing the same message. So we are not bigger than the message or the mission. Once I understood that, I said, well, let me calm down. Let me stay off my high horse and let me check my ego.
Yeah, bro. I don't even know. I'm kind of lost for words. I do a lot of interviews, celebrities and shit like that. And I never felt more engaged to have a conversation with somebody than you. Literally. Like, I've never, and I think you deserve everything that you have. I think you deserve more. I think God really did something when he sent you here. Like, I wasn't like able to watch Dr. Sebi, I hear a lot of people talk about him, but like, you know, again, I'm skeptical. So I was hearing about it, I didn't see it, so I didn't really care to go look it up. I personally had a conversation with you before I actually knew who you were. Like I heard your name, right? And I never was like, got the interview because like of your fame and shit like that. So I think I'm big on God. I think God put me on that stage to talk to you for a reason.
I feel like you searching for something, brother.
Nah, yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
I'm talking about something beyond your success and your position, because you've been grinding hard. Since I met you, I've been looking at you.
Yeah.
You've been grinding, you've been on your game, but I feel like you in search for something beyond the physical, and that's beyond,
for sure.
and beyond that success. And maybe that's why the Creator put us together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe in some way, some shape, or some form, me being your big brother, I can help you out with guiding you to whatever that is. Maybe maybe that's it. And maybe just as an authentic relationship, and we'll figure that out just by talking every day and building here and there, and then one day it'll click. But I'm here though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Yo, Jay-Z once said, you are who you was before you got here. You could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Yeah, and I said, you are who you are, player. What is it? You are who you are, player. You could try to change, but that's just the top hit. That's just the top layer. The fact is, you was who you was before you got here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about this because as I'm doing my research, you was in a gang.
Mm-hmm.
You had a heart attack, or you attacked your heart.
Mm-hmm.
ED, right?
Shot, stabbed, everything.
All of those things before you went to go get the information, right? Yeah. And I'm just wondering, at the core of it, because even at the core of my success, at the core of who I am, I can look back and be like, no, I've always been this person.
Oh, facts. I remember moments of being in gang wars. You know what I'm saying? Gang wars, and being on the opposite side of something I wasn't supposed to be on, and in the middle of that violent act, realizing who I was and felt fake for being there. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, I was the person that can do harm, but knew I had a good heart. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And I kept blaming it on my environment, but it really was acceptance, because I didn't have that male figure in my life that I wanted to. So I looked to the streets to raise me. You know what I'm saying? So, but even back then I knew I was special. My mama just said it the other day. She like, man, I always knew you was different than everybody, which is always something about you. Before my grandma said it, and before she died, she said the same thing. It's a chapter in the book, the Bible, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5. And it said that he knew Jeremiah, and he formed and fashioned him when he was in his mother's womb. So when you start thinking about stuff like that, it's like we already come here with a specific assignment and a mission, but it's up to us to experience life in a certain way to bring about the possibilities. So there's a possibility above us that have all this potential in it. And until you vibrate to that frequency, you won't be able to match that frequency to send you on your mission. And sometimes with melanated beings, since we're so hard-headed because of our melanin, I could prove that scientifically, we have to have a certain type of traumatic experience or a life and death type of situation to literally ignite that mission within inside of us. And that's what usually happens. And that's why you see a bunch of brothers, they go to prison, they change. A brother gets shot, have a near-death experience, he changed. You know what I'm saying? A brother have a heart attack, he changed. So sometimes it be a traumatic experience, but then you got special brothers that can look at a situation and see a person doing bad and say, I will never go down that road. Me, I got to go down the road to experience it myself, because I was that hard-headed type of person.
Hold up. Yo, wait. You saying you can prove that is a connection to black people specifically of having to go through a traumatic experience before learning?
Yeah, technically, because when you look at melanin is one of the only molecules that's truly indestructible. It's one of the most antioxidant molecules on the planet. You know what I'm saying? You can beat it, you can burn it, you can do whatever it does, but it's going to remain melanin, and it won't change from being melanin or melanin. And we are made of it. We got crystallized melanin in our brains. We got it in the retina of our eyes. It's in our blood. It's in our skin. And we have something called neuromelanin, and we have something called crystallized melanin. When you look in the sky, that's gasified melanin. So when you look at the melanin, our melanin is a different melanin content than anybody else on planet Earth. Like if you talk about Caucasians, they got pheomelanin. So our melanin is indestructible, but you can change it. But you can change the way it interacts with other chemicals, but you can't change it. It's the most hard-headed thing on Earth, and it was here before humans was here. Matter of fact, when you start looking up what they call the Big Bang and the explosion and the KT event and the oxygen event, melanin was there playing in all this creation, and we came to be from that in sunlight. So melanin is a very, very hard-headed molecule, but it's the molecule of life. It's called the God particle, and me and you are full of it. So until we have a God experience, we less likely to change.
Damn. So I've been preaching this thing about like the struggle Olympics forever. Because I feel like our people, and it's kind of like you debunked this whole thing. I feel like our people are married to the struggle Olympics. It's like we almost embrace it too much. That like it's a part of us, and I feel like we don't have to. Like just
but religion played a major part in that, which is a CIA operation. You know, slavery played a major part of that, and the way that they changed slavery around and, you know, rewrote our history and act like millions of us came from Africa on boats when we didn't. The whole whitewashing of our history is called the biological evolutionary history of a people. What your ancestors see through their eyes forms and molds and shapes the crystallines of their DNA. The genetics from their DNA is passed down, and then we end up with the same thing. They did the experiment on rats and everything where they have a rat smell a certain smell, and then they will do an electric shock after the rat smelled the smell, right? Soon as the rat smelled this smell, they put an electric shock on the rat. They do it for like 4 months. And then they make sure that the rat have babies. When the rat have babies, the rat will smell that smell and run the other way. Run the other way. He don't know no association with this smell. But just because his ancestors and his mother and father smelt in and got shocked for it, got punished for smelling it, he automatically have an innate fear inside of his chromophores and his chromosomes to run away from that smell. The same thing for a child. A black child in the hood can never see police brutality in their life. And you watch on TikTok and on these things, they'll see the police and start running in the house because what happened to their ancestors. So when you start talking about the transgenerational epigenetic inheritance, which is a real scientific word, that's the reason why we embrace struggle like that, because we feel like we never had shit. And the reason why we feel like we never had shit, because go back to the actual traditions and the culture when it comes to education. Education in America starts what? After slavery. Why they never started when we was King Tut? Why they never started when we was owning the world? Why they never started when we ran Europe before the Dark Ages? Why they never started when we were the indigenous people here in this land before Christopher Columbus stumbled across a bunch of niggas and killed them? So they only start our history from the worst breaking point of our lives. So then you start teaching that generation after generation after generation, generation after generation after generation, incarceration, generation after generation after generation, bad foods, generation after generation after generation, public housing, generation after generation after generation, projects, meaning there's a scientific experiment going on you, nigga. For generation after generation after generation. Now you get to the new generation, having money, you demonic. You made $1 million, that nigga sold his soul. You got a business, what you do for it? Oh, you ain't with the po folk no more. You different now. No, I'm not different. You different. I got the money and you changed up. I didn't change up. So all of this was a plot and a plan. And then let's not talk about how music and the movies played a major role in shaping our frontal lobes. So this is a diabolical plot and plan. The question that we should be asking, why is it targeted to people like us? Because we are the gods, man. We are the true powers here on this earth. Earth is left for us to steward. God told us to have dominion over it. God told us to take possession of it. It's something called the right to rule. The original people that was here put on earth first, all the natural resources was supposed to be ours. And guess what they came and did? Stole all of them. You got to pay for water. Water is free, brother. You got to pay for food. Food is free. You got to pay for clothing. Clothing come from animals. We don't own animals. God owns animals. So we have to pay for the very natural resources that God left to our ancestors, was the first original beings here on earth. Why is that? Because having earth, having power, and having dominion is our birthright. And if we're not fighting for that, then we're not fighting for nothing. If your purpose if our purpose is in our mission is not to attain that again, then why are we here?
Yeah, I'm curious to know, Because if this can be proven, right, scientifically, does that mean it should be accepted though? Like,
no, it shouldn't. Then that's why I said projects. It's a scientific experiment on you, nigga. Like, think about the projects. I'm from the projects.
Yeah.
From the projects.
Me
was
too.
raised in the
McCullough
Alton Acres
Homes,
projects.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm Alton Acres projects, Joe Steen projects. Like, I moved from projects to projects when I was little.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at the Tyone rat maze experiment. I talked about it on Big Facts 2 years ago, how they put all these rats in these projects. And the projects had 16 stories of rats, and they packed them on top of each other. And they did something crazy. They said, we gonna feed the rats at the top, get them all the food, and we not gonna feed the rats at the bottom. Guess what the rats at the bottom started doing? Attacking all the other rats in between to get to the top and eat. He said, these rats right here, we're going to feed them and we're going to put a mirror in front of them, the female rats. Guess what they did? They only ate and focused on their beauty and cleaned themselves the whole time. They was so focused on their beauty and cleaning themselves, they forgot to take care of their own children. They said, we're going to take water from the rats at the bottom. Guess what happened? The rats at the top came down and robbed all the rats at the bottom. They said, we're going to remove all the strong rats from this experiment. The little boys' rats started sleeping with each other. Homosexuality in rats. All because they was put in this little bitty confined space and they were given limited resources, brother.
Okay, so, and I think this is coming to me now. This is why I love what you're doing. I personally, like, I don't want to say hate woke people, but I just, when I hear it on the internet, it just gives me a disdain. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're special in a space where you don't come off as judgy. I feel like a lot of woke people come off as like judgy. Mm-hmm. We've been recording for like 20 minutes, if that, and you just gave $1 trillion worth of game, right? Mm. But it never came off as like judgy.
I mean, look at my face, brother. I got tattoos on my face. I got gang signs on my hands. It say Black Mob Street Gang. I got long locks. I am you. How can I judge who I am?
So, but not even that, right? Because I hear people like, so, damn, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to like, I'm not trying to start nothing with people because I fuck with people. But I heard like, it was this like, I feel like we have extremists. And this, oh my God, it's so fire. I'm watching you live. And you was in like it was imperative that you're like, yo, I'm not an extremist.
Yeah.
You might have to go get an antibiotic and then we could fix you up, right?
Definitely.
But not even an antibiotic, then we fix you up. That didn't stand out to me. The extremist part stood out to me because I feel like I talk to my producer about this all the time. I feel like we're in a society where a lot of the people that's being extreme are winning because the people that felt like they didn't have a voice now have a voice. But I feel like the extremist part is just, that's the part that I don't really like about it.
I mean, because when you talk about extremeness, it's a very thin line between being an extremist and being completely out of your mind and insane. Like, if I get shot right now, take me to the hospital. Don't talk nothing about no herb. And this is coming from a clinical master herbalist. I get shot right now, call 911, take me to the nearest hospital. Take me to whatever surgeon y'all got that y'all think is good. It can be white, black, blue, purple, brown. Put me to sleep, get this bullet up out of me. So we can't be extreme like that. If I get cut right now, take me to get stitched up. You know what I'm saying? We can control what we can control and what we can't control. You got to have some type of faith in your God or the higher power or the creator that's within you to know that you good out here. So, yeah, I never took that extreme route. I tried that before, talking about the all-fruit diet, going hard on the frugivore, and then realized that the frugivore diet did not fit every model. So me, as a man and as a person that learns new things, I had to change up the literature and change up the research based off of my own experience. So I just think so many brothers and sisters get high, get famous, and get high and mighty and push a narrative that if you have to change the narrative because information changed, they be like, man, I can't, because if I changed it, that mean I was fake. No, you fake by not changing it once you've seen the truth. And this is what I've been learning from the last 4 years. Truth is absolute. But truth changes because truth evolves because information changes and information evolves. That don't mean that it's not the truth. It just expanded itself. So I can speak a truth today and then 10 months from now, I can learn something else that adds on to that truth that make the truth look totally different. It's not that the truth is different. It just looked that way because the perspective have changed.
I speak about that all the time when it comes to growth. Like, I feel like I say like a fact now don't have to be a fact forever.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
But you see what I just said? That's the truth. Even though your truth just changed, it's still the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if you can understand who you are, that don't mean, if you can understand who you are right now, you could then do what you got to do to change so it can be a better you.
Exactly.
But if you never, if you don't accept it, if you don't accept it being true, then you can never change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, all right, damn. All right, so going back to the project thing, because this is like, I think like my passion. I understand what life has given us, right? But I think we can beat it. However, people hear the information and like, if I can scientifically prove to you why we act like that, then it should be justified. And I don't believe that's true.
No, and the purpose of science is to prevent or exceed over it.
Yes.
So here's go to science. Now, what's the solution?
My point. Yeah, but I feel like my message don't get clear a lot because sometimes it might come off as a little bootstrappy, right? Because like, again, so now we could have this dialogue. I was taught to make it home safe, right? So I know that when I go out here, the police going to do that. So granted, I probably shouldn't have to like be extra careful when I get pulled over, but that was my reality. So I'm gonna make it home. Then we can make some changes.
Yeah, facts.
You have another side of that where it's like, no, I'm gonna fight against it. And I'm like, bro,
but we can't negate or neglect that fact because that's the pendulum. That's the balance of life. Those people are needed. Rebels are needed.
Facts.
True revolutionary boots to the ground are needed. A brother that say, you got me effed up, I'm not getting out the car is needed. You know what I'm saying?
But then if he dies,
But sometimes you a martyr for the cause because that ignites something in the next brother that can take it and revolutionize it in a certain way where I'm going to watch out for Brother Malcolm mistake. I'm going to make sure I got my security on me and we check every nigga in the building every time. And I love them to death. But one of them might be my enemy. So I got to protect me to make sure that I'm constantly taking care of my flock. So you take the information, you look at what our ancestors did. We can go through all of our ancestors. My manager, Nabi, he made a presentation for me. Beautiful presentation. What I liked about what he did was he took every leader ever in existence and he highlighted their flaws and how they died and what got them killed or what got them on the radar. And he said, he looked at me, he pointed at me, he said, you got to do it different. I said, how in the hell I'm going to do that? He said, you got to change your mind and figure it out. You got to change your mind. And Nabi is right there. He said, you got to change your mind and figure it out. So now it's up to me to sit down and say, okay, Malcolm did this. He went in the room. His own people killed him. You know what I'm saying? Technically, that's what they saying. His own people killed him. He went in this room and he supposedly got shot by his own people and he called off security for that day. I'm never going to an event with this many people without security. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like that. We got to accept the fact. You take the information, you take the knowledge, and then you transform it and you make it applicable. That way you get further than the last Messiah. Then all Messiahs have to be crucified, though. We have to understand that. So then at your crucifixion, it keeps going until the last Messiah reigns supreme, man.
But doesn't that create conflict or friction in the same community when it's like, okay, I'm saying make it home first. You're saying fight, but everybody can't be this person and everybody can't be that person.
So that's saying that there's many different journeys and paths that reach the same destination, brother.
For sure. I know this, but I feel like the people, it does create conflict because like, it's kind of like the Malcolm and the Martin thing.
But at the end, they both agreed.
They agree, but that people is still fighting.
But at the end, the leaders agreed. What did Malcolm say before he died? He said, I have led my people into what? A burning house. So even he seen why Malcolm was so extreme. He got it. And I just think it's going to take that. Everybody will not agree, brother. This a water drop to a wave. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? A lot of our people is not going to be saved. So we got to be here to speak the truth and hope that, you know, that frequency gravitate to those who get it. That's just what it is. Not saying just leave people by the wayside, but we do have to speak to all. And whoever that truth trickle down on and they wake up from it, all praises, come aboard. And but the whole thing is not to never give up on the people. So I'm there for the radicals. I'm there for the non-radicals. I'm there for the ones teaching love. I'm there for the ones that saying, I'm finna stand up and fight. I'm there for all of it because we need all of that because they have all of that. You got look, check this out. You got the police force, right? Them the ones that's supposed to patrol and protect the streets. You got the army. Them are the straight killers when it's time to war. You got the CIA. That's the information base that get dropped off everywhere and learn all the intelligence. You got the FBI. Them are the ones that do all the deep research and investigations. You got your peace fighters. Them are the ones that tell you to put the guns down. You got your pastors and your preachers, the Christians. You see them send Christians over the whole world and Catholics over the whole world, especially into Africa, to convert people over into their religions. We got one people, which we'll call the Caucasian European race, that got all these different sides of coins and fashions. You got the radicals all the way to the peace givers, and all of them have one mission and one message, and that's to dominate and to take over the world. So why we can't have the same ones, the radicals? Why we can't have the fighters? Why we can't have the peacemakers? Why we can't have, make it home? No, stand up and you might have to be a martyr today, because each individual experience speak to us as individuals differently. You know what I'm saying? I got a son right now named Eli, straight rebel. He's a rebel. I can't come to him with the same peace approach that I come to my other son, Yahki. Yahki is my peaceful son. He's 4-year-old. All he knows is peace. He's going to talk his way out of the situation. He's going to hug you and kiss you. Eli want to fight. So my training is going to have to be different. It's two different educations with them. And that's the reason why when you look in Africa, all the teachers taught differently. They taught the children based off their personality. We trying to put the same education and put the same personality in basically the same destination on every child or every individual, and it just won't work like that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I think that's why your energy attracted me, because I don't think I've ever heard someone of like your knowledge speak so nuanced, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, it's always just be extreme as fuck. I'd be like, bro, shit. Like, so I think that's what makes it special. I'm curious to know what you think about this. Usually people with so much knowledge, when it comes to religion and it comes to Christianity specifically, it's like they up in the air. One thing that stood out to me about your story is your mom's bought you a Bible. Mm-hmm. Was it in a hospital?
It was in a prison.
In a prison.
Oh, you really listened to my story, bro.
Yeah, so that did something to you, but yet it's like you're still so grounded in spirituality, but also information, and sometimes it can like get misconstrued.
Well, again, that's another government op to make them go against each other. Religion is science. Spirituality is science. All religion is man trying to compartmentalize God and using science to do so. So all we got to do is unpack it, and you realize there's truth in all religion. Throw away the lies, what resonate with you, you take it and you move on. That's why I love the 5%ers so much, because they take 5% of all religions and they make it make sense. That's why I love the Circle 7 and Drew Ali. That's why I love the gods and earth. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. My whole salute, because I'm paying homage to certain people. I believe that there is truth in all religions, and I believe that we're all saying the same thing. Get rid of the animalistic nature, kill and sacrifice your flesh, and graduate, and then move and transform yourself to your higher self. Every religion says that, no matter if we talk about Hebrew, whether we're talking about Christianity, whether we're talking about Brahma, whether we're talking about Shiva, you can go to each 12 different religion. It's all telling you the same thing and giving you the roadmap to do so. You just got people from different cultures speaking a different language that come from a different education saying the same damn story.
Damn, that's crazy. So how do you combat that if, like, I guess, again, if my religion is saying do this and you get to heaven, your religion is saying do that and you get to heaven. And it's
you find a common ground.
But can that be a common ground when your religion is telling you this is what you do?
See, you're defining things off of language. You're not defining things off of exactly what it is, right? So you're defining off of language.
But language is what communicates with you.
Well,
so you know what it is, right?
75% of all communication is what? Nonverbal. So if I read a religion and it says I have to sacrifice myself to make it to heaven, and I say Ali Akbar, and then I pull and blow myself up, that's the physical part. How different than that is when Paul says, I die to myself daily. I kill myself daily. I sacrifice my flesh daily. Sheesh. What's the difference? We just got a different perspective on the same thing. And that's the reason why I be very careful, Because it's a very thin line to us calling something bad and calling something good. It's a very thin line between that, because we don't know what their system or belief is. But I can tell you, if I can sit down with anybody with any religion and reason with them, and they'll stand up and shake my hand and say, I'm finna go read the Bible. I'm finna go read the Torah. I'm finna go read the Tanakh. I'm gonna look into that Hebrew thing, because I look at all of it different. You know, a lot of the Hebrews, they look at Hebrew like it's a nationality. Yes, I can dive into that too. But Hebrew, if you look at the word, it comes from the root word abari, and it means one who crosses over. In the book of Genesis, Abraham was called a Hebrew in Genesis chapter 15 after he crossed over the Euphrates rivers to go find the promised land. So until he took the action that God told him and crossed over the river, he was called just Abram. Once he crossed over the river, his name was changed to Abraham, which means fathers of many nations. Then he was called Hebrew Bari, because he crossed over from his old life to his new life, going to look for the promised land, which is the highest destination in his mind. So you take that same name and you apply it to your life. What is on this side of the river that I need to get away from? Lust. Every woman that I look at, I want to fuck on. Chasing bags and chasing money, not spending time with my children, not working out, being slothful, not waking up and praying, not meditating, not cleansing my body, not cleansing my mind and my souls, not reading a book, but watching TV and flicks all day or playing a television all day. Let me stop that and start this. The moment you start that, you did the same exact thing that Abraham did, which is listening to your higher self and crossing over your river. So that makes you a Hebrew. See that the language is getting us caught up. That's why we are spiritual people. That's the whole point of having dipole antennas, to connect with the cosmos and having this melanin within us, for we can resonate and see what these scriptures is talking about, what the Torah is talking about, what the Quran is talking about. Oh, it's talking about the same thing. Me dying daily and killing my lower animalistic nature, for I can be beyond my flesh, the reptilian brain, which is nothing but sex and reproducing, surviving, sleeping, and eating. And I can actually think with my frontal lobe and both hemispheres of my brain, for I can figure out why I'm here. For I can find out where I am, how I am, what I am, and who I am.
How do we get to a space where we can do that and comfortably exist when the world, even we talk about social media all the time.
Now you're asking the right questions, brother.
Like, it's like the world don't really give you a space to rehabilitate. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about dying of your flesh or dying to yourself every single day to become a better you, but when you do that, you still criticize, you still charged with the crimes of yesterday.
Yeah. So, and that's why I keep talking about what's going to take us to the next stage of our biological evolutionary history as a people. It will have to be spiritual. It's going to have to be enough of us. And what I mean enough, I mean about 1 million black people to all come together on one accord, and we'll have to do a guided meditation, fast, and a prayer every single day, all day. If you go to any religion or any people, they got people that pray 24/7. In Israel right now, they got white Israelis that's praying to their God all day to protect their people, because they understand that spirituality and science is interwoven with itself. You go to Russia right now, you go to their temples, they got a Russian priest praying right now. You go to Africa, you go to Ifa, you go anywhere, they got people being priests over their people and standing and literally praying over the people. And if y'all hate the word praying, we can just say daily affirmations. It's the same thing. See what I'm saying? How you can, it's the language. It's the language barrier that's keeping us separate.
And that's why I love it, because even me, if you speak a different language, I'm able to decode it. And I'm thinking like, okay, basically we just need to bring the grandmothers back.
Yeah, but hey,
they had a praying grandmother.
I'm living to this very day because of my praying grandmother.
And when you say I hear that, I literally hear that. I go back to that, like I had a praying grandmother.
And that's what we got to do. So, and you will see that, and this is true, that you can come together as a collective and you can will your consciousness. And it basically what it's called verbal, and it's called visual meditation, where you will bring a collective group of people together, anywhere from 10,000 to a million. Y'all get on the same frequency and y'all visualize something, and it will happen. Because we have to understand that reality is created as we speak it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look up the definition of the word future, is what comes after you speak or what comes after you write. That's the actual definition of future. You know what the definition of past is?
Mm-mm.
What is before you speak, or what is before you write. So as we speak, we are creating. The Hebrew word is abracadabra. I create what I speak. That's why the scripture tells us that life and death is in the power of the tongue, because you're literally creating your world through words and sound. Then you start studying the scientifics and physics, and they tell you that all these things are held together by vibrational sounds and frequencies. So we have the voice and the power to create, because in the beginning God said, and God was, and we are. So when we speak, we do the same thing. So imagine 1 million melanated people coming together and standing up. Do you realize only 10% of the world population controls the whole 90%? What happened if just 20% stood up to the 10%? What happened if 30% stood up to the 10%? What happened if 50% stood up to the 10%? What happened if 90% stood up to the 10%? We wouldn't be going through none of the shit we going through. So the only way we can do that is by spiritual warfare. And the only way to wage spiritual war is by using our minds and our intellect and willing that power forward. And we can do it. We just won't come together because we still think all religions is different. Oh, he Hebrew. Oh, he Muslim. He Christian. We can't sit together. I can sit a Hebrew, a Muslim, and a Christian all down together and tell them how all of their religion is linked to each other. That's what we need. We need to quit figuring out and picking on why we different and the things that we picking too many things on why we different. Let's find a common denominator on how to come together. All right, Muslim, Hebrew, and Christian. How many of your family members got killed by somebody in their own neighborhoods? Okay, so black on black crime is an issue. How many people that you know got killed by the police? Okay, so police brutality is an issue. How many of y'all did not make it to the 12th grade to get a college degree? Okay, so educational problems is an issue. How many of your people went to the hospital and died because of medical malpractice? Okay, so the medicine is the issue. So how can we fix those issues outside of religions? Let's build an institute. Inside this institute, we're going to make sure that we do herbal therapy instead of petroleum chemical oil-based medicine. That issue is solved. All right, with the police, how about we police our own neighborhoods and we ain't never even got to call them? We can call on a brother. This brother beat his woman. We going to go beat the brakes off his ass. I bet you he'll never touch her again. Now the police never get called again. You see that? How about we do our own education and we teach from our own culture where we talk about who we were before slavery. Now our children know that they were royal coming out of the womb. So when they go into the world, they know they come from royalty and not slavery and getting ripped apart from horses and getting beat or getting our tongues cut out our mouths if we got caught reading. Who the hell teaches children shit like that coming out of the womb? So now we find a common denominator that is messing with our community, education, meeting the needs of a people. We solve that and then boom, got 1 million messiahs that know that they royal, that know that they powerful, that know that they come from royalty, that can read, that can write, that can do all of these things. And then you put these millions of little beautiful melanated babies together and tell them to visualize and manifest us winning this war. And you will see the whole reality shift and change.
Shit. All right, hold on. Because I'm curious. All this came from you wanting to get your health better.
All of this came from the Most High fashioning me and knowing me before I was in my mother's womb. Me getting my health together, traumatic experience, because melanin is a very, very hard-headed molecule. This traumatic experience, this life and death experience, put me on my path, like I told you in the beginning.
Okay, so how?
I've been who I was, brother.
Facts. So how are you able to, or the message that you speak, right? The school that you create, this is so people can catch it before, so they can learn. But it has to be frustrating to almost know that you have to have a traumatic experience. I don't want my people to have a traumatic experience. I want you to be able to learn from me. Like, that's why I went through it, so you don't have to go through it.
Good question. But you can still have a traumatic experience and it not be so psychological, emotional, and physically harming to the body. Like, whether you know it or not, brother, you're going to see it later. This is your traumatic experience.
Okay. So it don't have to be.
Brother, you will never be the same again after I leave. I promise you that.
Damn. Okay. So it can be on either or of the spectrum.
Exactly, brother.
That's fire, bro. God damn, bro. Sheesh. All right. One thing that stood out. I'm trying to get to these questions, but I just listen. I got mad questions. All right. We talk about your ability to be able to learn and come back and correct it, right? But that has to be, I don't want to say difficult, but like, how do you deal with it again when people, if the world can't give us the space to rehabilitate, it's like sometimes your people won't give you the space to correct your wrongs either. Because you are human, like I said in the beginning, it's like you're so dope. You're at what you do. It's kind of like people create a god out of you. When you are human, though, you're going to make mistakes. Have you ever seen like some of your people challenge that because you went and corrected something that was wrong?
Oh, all
how
the
does
time.
that affect the?
I just did it. I was in Dallas on the blue couch.
I seen that.
Yeah, and he asked me a question. He said, I noticed that you always say when you're wrong. These last 2 years since you lost all that weight, is there any teachings that you was teaching then that you're not teaching now? And I went over 7 things, and the people ridiculed me. I mean, I got thick skin. I don't give a damn that they ridiculed me, but you know, the people ridiculed me. So you know what I did? I just kept teaching. I kept my head down. I kept teaching. I kept preaching. I kept moving forward. I'm not here to turn back and keep going back trying to tell you why I told the truth after I realized that the truth that I told before have evolved. You will have to upgrade and catch up to that. And I pray that you have that traumatic experience to do so. I think we are worried about what people think about us too much and not what we think about ourselves. I'm only comfortable with what Yahki think about Yahki. Because when I go to sleep at night, it's not what did she think about me? What did he think about me? Did he hate that video I said? Dang, I sound like a liar now. I feel comfortable knowing that if I died and didn't wake up in my sleep, I changed the information and I upgraded it because what I knew before was not the truth and I'm telling the truth now. So I think if we look at it like that, we have to judge ourselves and critique ourselves. I think if we get in that mindset, then all of the judgment and critiquing outside of us is like, that's water off a duck's back, brother.
But it's always good if you know that you're genuinely doing it out of truth now.
Oh, facts.
So it doesn't, because in my mind, I'm wondering, but that's the answer. I'm wondering how, if I'm teaching and I know that it was a time where I was wrong, right? And I had to learn, but I'm continuing to learn, it almost make me not want to teach because I don't want to lead you down the wrong path.
No, there's no such thing as, that's what you missing, brother. There's no such thing as a wrong path. All paths lead to the same destination. All paths lead to the same destination, whether we want it to or not. And that destination is us leaving this fleshly vehicle, this vehicle going back to the dirt, and our consciousness going to another university. All of them do.
That's fire.
We die someday, brother. We have to transition. Why are we worried about what people think? You genuine, you know you genuine. You authentic, you know you authentic. People that's going to gravitate to it will. Those that won't, I'll catch you on the other side, player.
Okay, so that goes into the transition. I wanted to ask you about this relationship or association between sugar and love, right? And
I just talked about that.
Yeah, you did.
A podcast ago.
And it's like you talked about the association between sugar and love, right? Birthdays, rewards, childhood memories, celebrations, all of that, right? But my question is, how do you break a habit when the same thing that's hurting you is what we get celebrated for, right? How do we break that habit?
Ooh, that's a good question. Creating a new celebration and creating a dis-celebration for when you do it. You know how we celebrate when somebody do good? Why don't we dis-celebrate when somebody do bad? You see what I'm saying? In Africa, they do. Like, you are punished for not bringing back home the certain things that you were supposed to do. You were punished for not keeping your word. You were punished for breaking your fast after you declared you was going to do a fast. So why don't we do the same thing? And then when you take something from somebody, you have to replace it with something. You know, like most people that was on hard crack cocaine, they usually go to cigarettes or they go to alcohol. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's a better thing to do, but it's something that's less detrimental to the body than actually harsh crack cocaine.
For sure.
If you take away Christmas because you realize how paganistic it is and the pedophilia that's around these Christmas and the Feast of Saturns and the Jack-o'-lantern and, you know, the Day of Death or what you'll call Halloween, you take it from the children and then you replace it with Hanukkah, what you'll call Hanukkah, the Feast of Lights, the Feast of Trumpets, Passover, unleavened bread. So if you're going to take something from somebody, replace it. Okay, I'm going to take bread from you because bread is bad from you. but I'm going to make you some organic sourdough bread from scratch. That'll blow your mind. It'll heal your gut. It'll replace the microbiota inside your gut. You're able to absorb more. I'm going to take sugar from you, but I'm going to replace it with, I'm going to juice me some juice, some watermelons. I'm going to put it in a biodegradable plastic bag. I'm going to put it in the freezer. Now you got the best popsicle freeze pops you ever had out of watermelon juice. Bro. Or I'm going to take me some good, agar, and I'm going to mix it with some fruits. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and I'm going to make you some gummy bears out of it. I just took away sugar, but I put something else back in your face that's not as a neurotoxin and it's not as unhealthy to the body as sugar was. So it's easy to do it. We just want to take away without replacing because we don't want to do the hard work. So before you start taking away, already have the answer for people. We just go on there, we spit all of this knowledge and this information that sounds smart and we leave the people scared, but we don't have. You have to build. You can't say leave your job and you ain't got a table for the people to come to eat. Build the table, have the food on the table, then say quit your job. Now you got a whole nother table and we all can still eat. The same thing when it comes to knowledge. So, if we build it, they gonna come. Just build it first before you tell people to leave their homes. That's all.
Damn, that's dope. Yo, it's crazy. I talk about hip hop. We talk about like the things that shaped us into being the men we used to be before we got new knowledge, right? But at the same time, these are the things that I enjoy. I know it's bad now. I know what it did to my mind now, especially when we talk about the over-sexualization of women.
Oh, definitely.
We talk about how it highlights violence, and it turns us into people that eventually, again, I have this conversation all the time. I continue to have it. I don't care. We talk about how the hood created a false standard. What happened is we uphold this standard that should never be a standard, and then we get celebrated for upholding a standard that should have never been there.
I see it happening right now.
Right. So, but then we relearn something, but at the end of the day, I had 20-something years of knowing what I knew. Right? I'm 35, and I had 30-something years of knowing what I knew. So, yeah, hip-hop still sounds good to me. Hip-hop still gets me up and moving, even though I know it's negative.
Brother, I was just at my photo shoot before I came to you, and I was playing Boosie and T.I. You know what I'm saying? I set it off, my clique, all dogs. I was just in there vibing to that, getting into my groove. We know it's bad. Our children went in there. I'm not priming my children up. I don't play it around them. Me and IB love Boosie. We love Kodak Black. We in there vibing, a beautiful vibe with a good spirit. But guess what? We ain't finna kill nobody. We ain't shoot nobody unless we have to protect ourselves. But, we ain't out here taking nobody heads off. But we had a good vibe because it's not really about the lyrics. Subconsciously, the lyrics will play with your head. If you are adolescents and you growing up in it and your mind ain't fully developed and you haven't come into your manhood, but the beat, Boosie flow, the cadence of his voice, he's like a preacher, rhythmatically. We are spiritual people. So if it sounds like it's preachy, we gonna listen to it. The difference is you man enough to hear it and not act on it? Or can you transform that and turn it into a vibe? We don't listen to it all the time, but today I wanted to hear some Boosie and some T.I., so we turned around. We vibed and did a whole photo shoot off of it. Do that make me a bad man? No. Am I here speaking onto the masses on how to change their life around? Yes. Was we at Invest Fest and I sold herbs to thousands of people? Yes. Did I give away thousands of herbs and books? Yes. Am I going to go home and take care of my children? Yes. If I see somebody on the streets that needs some loving and needs some money, am I going to break bread? Yes. All while listening to Boosie. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't be, it's a scripture that says, do not be overly righteous, because now you create a separation between you and your people don't even want to vibe with you because you can't even listen to Boosie with them and talk over a song.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's just, because I speak against these things a lot, but I also am honest enough with myself and my people to say that I still enjoy this. So it's a conflict because the kids want to be adults, right? So if I listen to this, but I'm telling you not to listen to it, automatically you're going to go against what I'm...
Well, but the whole thing is, and this is where becoming a man and having balance is at, right? Having balance is at. So, okay, it's do as I say and not as I do. And I'm not going to do as I tell you not to do around you. So I will never play Boosie in front of my children. I won't. You know what I'm saying? Love Boosie. That's my guy. But I wouldn't play it around them because their minds are still fragile and they still in theta state. You know what I'm saying? And we see the children, how they coming up and they wanting to replicate. I got a tattoo in the middle of my face because of Lil Wayne. because of Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? All these I got Mob on my chest. I come from a gang called Black Mob Street Gang just because of Lil Wayne. The Mob came from him, the idea. We had the Black Mob Street Gang before we seen the Mob on his chest. But I'm like, Lil Wayne got this tattoo. This represents the gang I'm a part of. I'm getting that. You know what I'm saying? I'm deep into the 7, the knowledge of 7 up. So I tatted a 7 in the middle of my forehead with a 3-point crown. Very, very spiritual. A lot of people think it's a gang tattoo, but it's not. But I did that because Lil Wayne had a tat in the middle of his eyebrow. So I am a product of my environment, and I am a product of music as well. But now I am able to channel that and use that to do something positive with. So will I have my son and my children listening to Lil Wayne? No. But if my house is empty and it's just me and another adult folk and we at the crib and we want to chill and we want to vibe and we don't feel like being over righteously and listening to some gospel music, I'm finna turn on some Boosie and Lil Wayne and probably clean up. I'll probably mob and dance a little bit. And then, hey, the next day I might be on something different. I am here to experience. Long as my experience is not hurting or harming you, then I have free will and free reign to be who and what I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's that. We just can't be extremists like that. Because otherwise, imagine doing a photo shoot and listening. We shall overcome.
Yeah, I'm trying to
get in my bag.
So, but we can't be extremists, and that's real. But some people would say the way you eat is extreme, right?
The way I eat?
Yeah.
Well, that's different. Sometimes you have to be extreme in that way to a different degree because everything we eat is killing us. So if everything we eat is killing us and there's only a select foods that's out here that could potentially not kill us, then I'm going to eat that select food. So that's something kind of different, brother.
Yeah, I feel you. Because some people would say like everything we listen to is doing something to our mind too.
Well, it depends on what type of mind it is and who mind it is and the degree of the mindset. Like I was saying, you don't want to have a 7-year-old listening to that music or a 14-year-old that's coming into his manhood that's looking for identity, especially if he don't have a black father in the household or masculine energy to steer him the right way to listen to the music. Otherwise, you end up like how I did. You know what I'm saying? A juvenile with criminal records as a youngin', in and out of jail, a part of gangs, getting shot, getting stabbed. Had my jaw shattered from here to here. Had metal from here to here. I just had to get my teeth fixed because the metal created a tumor inside of my liver because it was leaking to my bloodstream. All of these are from actions that I did as a teenager because I didn't have a father in the household, and the brothers that I was around or my family members that I was around teaching me gang signs and how to be in the streets. So me at 14 and me at a grown man thinking back now, hold on, he needed some structure. He never needed to listen to Twister back then. He never needed to listen to that back then. Now I can turn on some Twister right now and I can relate. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So a child coming out of the womb all the way up into about 16, they don't need to be listening to that. Now, when you get older and you grown and you have fully developed your brain, because a man's brain don't even fully develop until he's 21. Did you know that?
I thought it was 25 for me.
No, 21. 21 for man. So with that being said, of course he need to be trained a certain way. But if you hear something, you take a liking unto it. If it ain't messing with the mass or if it ain't hurting nobody, man, vibe out, man.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference between like being extreme and just being really disciplined? Because when you talk about the way you eat, you say you gotta eat extreme, but I would just think it's just super disciplined.
Well, we can say that, but I gotta eat this way. You gotta think about it, man. I smoked 20 blunts a day when I was younger. I did that for 10 years straight. I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day. I did that for like 7 years straight. I started drinking at the age of 9. My first cigarette, I was 10 years old. You know, I snorted cocaine for a little bit. I had a heart attack when I was 21, or I attacked my heart, should I say. I messed up my liver. I had all of that metal put in my jaw. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I had pressure. I got stabbed by a 12-inch ice pick, mixed my heart by a couple of centimeters, almost died in Josteen Projects in Alton, Illinois, at the bottom of the projects. I got jumped by like 60 people. You see what I'm saying? So I've been through so much and my body been through so much that it's only one way I can eat. I can't afford another drink. I can't afford another blunt. I can't afford another cigarette. I can't afford it. So it's not even necessarily discipline. I can't. You see what I'm saying? Because melanin is hard-headed. So I'm to the point where I have to be this way, but this is what had to happen to me for me to be the priest of the Kohen I am today, to help lead the masses to where they need to go.
So you saying that your average person don't have to be that extreme. They can have a middle ground, so to say.
Oh, yeah. It's called the Blue Zone, Okinawa, the most middle ground people I know. Okinawa, I talk about this in all of my podcasts. It's a place called Okinawa. 7 blue zones in Okinawa, they ate meat. They drank their own wine. They danced. They had great sex. They was married. They listened. They smoked cigarettes and all of that. And these were the most healthiest people on earth. Why is that? So then you have to start getting into the why. Because they only ate 2 pounds of meat a month. All of their meat was wild caught. It wasn't farm raised, right? The cigarettes they smoked was fresh tobacco that they picked from tobacco leaves themselves. It didn't have any additives and preservatives in it. They didn't eat sugar. They didn't fry their food. They cooked their food on an open pit to allow all of the substance to come out of it, meaning they ate cleaner ways of cooking. They had sex up until they was 90. It was 90-year-olds still getting full-blown erections, man. You know what I'm saying? They lived a very, very, very plain life that wasn't extreme at all, but they lived more than extremeness here in America. So what do that math tell you?
Damn. So it's hope.
I don't believe in hope, brother. Hope is a crazy word. I don't believe in hope.
I mean, it's
showing you that there is a way. I just don't think, me personally, that way is here in America. And that's why my whole sole purpose and mission is to create blue zones here in America. I created 2 of them so far. I got a 10-acre farm in Atlanta that's in fact the blue zone. I pull and draw my water from my own ground, 700 feet in the ground. I have 16 fruit trees. We grow all types of vegetables. It's a healing house on the land. I got another one here in Atlanta on 56 acres that we doing to it right now. So we have to control our own mini blue zones. And this answered the question that you was asking earlier. How can we do that in such a toxic environment, in such an evil world? It takes me back to the book of Nebuchadnezzar when we went in, if you read in the Bible, we had went into captivity. And in captivity, God instructed us to build ye houses in captivity, to plant ye vineyards in captivity, to marry and make children in captivity. So in captivity, we was told to build, we was told to organize, we was told to form, we was told to procreate, and we was told to live our lives. Same thing we doing now in captivity. I'm building blue zones all over America.
That's fire. Yo, you said, again, one of the people you, of course, came up under, or somebody that caught your attention when you was going into your awakening journey, was Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi inspired me.
Yeah.
Dr. Layla Africa taught me.
Okay. And this is just chopping up at this point. I was talking to my producer about Dr. Sebi, and I was like, how did he die? And he was saying, well, allegedly he died from pneumonia, but people think he was killed. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm going to honestly say I don't know. And if I honestly don't know nothing, I really can't speak on it. That's why I mostly speak on what I do know. That way you can fact check it and pull up. But I could say this. This was a powerful man that was changing the masses and uplifting the consciousness of a people. It wouldn't be surprising if they took him out and disguised it as pneumonia. Or, from what I'm hearing, he was in the jail cell. He didn't have no food. They left him cold and stuff like that. It isn't surprising if he caught a cold and they didn't feed him and something happened too. So I don't know because I wasn't there and I just can't speak on nothing that I haven't really seen for myself. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was assassinated because I was a powerful black man. And that's what they are sent here to do, to assassinate powerful black men.
Now, you say he influenced you. I'm just curious, is it any...
He inspired me.
Inspires you.
Which means in spirit. Inspire means in spirit. He put a spirit on me. Me listening to him, it invigorated me and charged me up. I never seen a black man just talk so freely and be so confident in something positive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because until that point, I was in the streets. I was a real street nigga. You see, you see, I was really in the streets. So until that point, I said, it's possible. It's the first man ever who I ever looked at, other than my Uncle James, which was a pastor, that I looked at in a positive way that made me feel led to do something positive. And man, that started my journey. That's why I always give him a moment of silence when we mention his name. So if we can, let's bow our heads and give Dr. Sebi and Layla Africa a moment of silence. Ashe.
Yo, the one thing I think about is like when I think about that, and I have no idea, just curious. I think about like they say idols become rivals.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, has your path brought you to anything that kind of differed from what he was talking about?
Oh, definitely a whole lot. I don't agree with probably 85% of what Sabi taught now. I don't agree with about 50% of what Dr. Layla Africa taught now. I don't agree with my Dr. Baba he's my elder from Jamaica that taught me real herbalism, about 40% of what he taught now. And it's not that I disagree with the teaching. It's just that the truth have evolved and changed, and they just not here to update the information. You see that? So I'm just updating it for them. That's it. So it's all about perspective. It's not a disagreement. It's just truth. It's absolute, but truth also change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the facts today won't be the facts tomorrow.
Facts.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, that's
you know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah, bro. One thing we talked about at Podcast Summit was how you grew your business.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how important is that? Because a lot of times, I know you talk about generational health, right? Like, the world talk about generational wealth, but both is important.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, like, how are you able to be so genuine, authentic, but still prioritize this business?
A lot of sacrifice, man. A lot of being authentically myself and saying, man, I done left my children behind a lot. You know what I'm saying? I really did in the beginning. I'm getting real good at it right now. I had to sacrifice a bunch of family time. I'm getting better at that now. And I was always gone. It was for 3 years straight. Me and I probably was at home 4 times. That's how much we was on the road. I mean, on the road, getting it. Video after video, lecture after lecture, grassroots building from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? But that sacrifice is what we need. And then it just took me back to the old biblical days when it was a war. The father went at home. The father went to war. Most of the time, he didn't come back. So the mother was at home while he went and made sure that the family was protected. The father went to go hunt to get the food. Sometimes it took him 9 or 10 days to bring back a good meal. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of being a warrior and being a man to make sure that he putting his vision first. Your mission and your vision as a man supposed to come before your woman and your children. If your mission do not come before your woman and your children, you will be consumed by that, and you not completing your mission will make you not a man, which will make her dislike you and be very, very, very unattracted to you anyway.
100%.
Same thing with the children. You have to be an anomaly in your household. You have to be a mystery to your woman and your children. When you walk through that door, you're supposed to feel the it's called we Abba in Hebrew. That's father. It means the controller of the house. When you walk in that house, they supposed to feel the present back in because it was gone. Like, Abba, I missed you so much. What do you need? What do you want? Where you been? Can you tell us a story? Your woman supposed to be pulling your Johnson out your pants. Come on, I ain't had this in a few months. I need it right now. The more you spend around anybody, lessen your value, even your own family. Because as men, we supposed to be out in the world, conquering the world, gathering all this data, all this knowledge, and all this information, and bringing it back to your family. And it's supposed to be passed on from generation to generation. That's the truth. Now I'm just learning how to balance that more.
Yeah, I was going to say but sometimes that space creates tension.
No, facts. And that's what I'm saying. So now I'm learning how to balance that more. So now I can't be gone for a month at a time. You know what I'm saying? I'll be gone for half the month and I'll be back. Now they used to, and I've been like this, for the last 2 years, I've been real good at being at home, staying at home. So I've been real good at it now where, I just give them enough to miss Abba. I make sure I answer that FaceTime no matter what. And then I'm back home. I spend a week with them. Then look, Abba got to go get it again. Abba got to go. And they say it now. Abba, you finna go heal people? You finna go be the doctor? Yep, I'll be back after I save some lives. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't it, I don't want to say unfair, unjust, but I think, again, it's easier to be more balanced when you got the funds to be balanced.
But I'm not in it for the funds to be balanced.
You're not in it for it, but again, it's easier to be home when you ain't got to worry about how to take you home.
No. How is that even possible when the way that the message get out is being? I'm teaching not only a healing message but a spiritual message. In order for that, you have to be in the place. You have to feel like I sat down and you said, "I feel your spirit. I feel your presence." That's hard to do over TV. That's hard to do over the internet. It's called grassroots. You know what I'm saying? We got to go door to door. I got to be in your face. You got to feel that I'm authentic because I can just be telling you anything because it sounds good. You got to be able to look me in my eyes, shake my hands, hug on me, love on me, sit in front of me while I'm teaching and say, this man is really for his people, that take the man to go there. What I'm doing is a very dangerous job. I spend probably about $250,000 on security a year. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna risk my children or, one of my women being. So no, y'all stay at home. Let me go do the dangerous shit and I'll be back.
Yeah. I think about like when they say, what is it to a man for a man to gain the world
but lose his soul? Oh no, my soul is very much found and intact, brother.
Yeah. And I go there first and I kind of replace like soul with family, because it's like a lot of times we do things from a selfish space. We say it's for us, but it's not.
Oh,
like we say, I'm doing this for you. Like
I agree. And man, we just had a conversation about that. No, facts. But I can say 5 years ago, that was me. It's not me no more. And that's why I'm home more. That's why I'm with my children. I always got my children now. But when I'm out when I'm out at war, this is war right now. When I'm at war, my children is not coming with me. Yeah,
I seen this video. Shaq was talking to his son. His son was like,
powerful. He said, I just watched it the other day. I saved it. He said he thinking about joining some basketball team.
So you don't have to do that.
He said, you ain't got to do that. I did that for you. He said, so you ready to give it all? You ready to give up it all? He said, because that's what you're going to have to do to be the best. The deepest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, and I ain't come to terms with it yet, bro, but I'm gonna keep it 100. My first thoughts was, I got a daughter. She's about to be 3 next week. And I feel like everybody who knows me knows I'm like super fucking, what's the word? Not passionate, but like motivated and I don't know, like just motivated, right? When I looked at that video, I was like, man, I've been great at things. And I'm like, man, I deserve to be great at being a father.
Man, look, me and you got the same reaction after watching that video.
Yeah.
Same reaction. Same exact reaction. But then I had to put things into perspective. Because it's an emotional video. It's going to pull on your emotion. And a man with energy and motion will take him out of motion with self and with God. So I feel you. I got that same exact thing. But that thought at that very moment was going to pull me off my mission. See, everybody's mission is different, brother. But, and this is why I respect Wall Street Trapper so much.
Oh, I love that nigga, boy.
That is my brother, man.
Damn.
That is. I ain't never called a nigga big bruh. That's my big brother, man.
The matches when I was talking about the false standard came from him.
Yeah, that's
a special.
That's like, I call him big brother for it. I don't call people big bruh. People call me big bruh. I call him big bruh. Damn. One thing I admire about him is you hit him, I can't. I'm with my daughter. Like I can't. I'm out. Me and my baby girl. No, we gone. I'm like, boy, I can't wait until I can be in that situation. But right now, I'm just not in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the ultimate goal, though. But I think we grind and we getting it and we building. Unfortunately, we living in a world, brother, where we have to be a way to bring it home. You know what I'm saying? And his situation, and you just got other people that's in different situations where they already where they at, where they can do stuff like that. And I hope and pray that I can get like that. But while I'm at war, I can't take my children with me. It's like taking my children to the slaughterhouse. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Because when we out here. That's just stuff we sitting up here speaking about. You know what I'm saying? I have my children running around. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the one thing that's special, that I think is special about, it's a lot that I think is special, but some people are able to see the transformation that they make for themselves, right? Because that's big, and we should celebrate that. Rarely few do we see make a transformation for themselves, but also an impact for everybody else.
Powerful.
And I feel like that's where you lie at.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you personally think it's a difference, right? Like, is it
a difference between what?
Making a transformation within yourself?
From the people?
No, just like it could be from yourself, right? Like it could be transforming from your killing that old flesh to continue being better. But like I said, you was able to continue to do that, but then it'd be impactful as well.
Yeah. I don't think it's a difference, because it's a saying that sounds very cliche, but you can't change the world unless what? You change
yourself. Facts.
And we all reflections. I am you and you are me, brother. So when we see each other, when I leave, you're supposed to say, I met God. Whatever God is, it was in him today. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing I'm supposed to see when I meet you. Man, that's a God, brother. I just stood on the stage and told 19 Keys that and bowed to that man. I said, I love the God man that's sent in you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be meeting God every day and having conversations with God, not through ourselves, but to the brothers that we sit next to us. So, no, you can't change the world unless you change yourself. You change you, and then those who match your frequency will gravitate towards you. That's how energy and polarity work. It's science, brother.
Yo, it's so many things. Like, I want to talk about the health stuff, but it's just like, respectfully, I just feel like, bro, y'all can go to his page and find it.
So no, what we do is we make this part 1. On part 2, we'll make it about the health.
Yeah, I feel like,
but all of this was health and wellness, brother.
For sure. I got some quick stuff I want to. It's like little game. It's called Keep It or Kill It, right? And I'm gonna say something, and I want to know if you should keep it or kill it.
Gotcha.
And you can give me some reason behind it if you want to. If not, it's cool. Cheat days. Keep it or kill it.
Kill it.
Is it reason? Okay, all right. Breakfast being the most important meal of the day.
Keep it. If you're breaking your fast at 12. If you're breaking your fast before noon, it's the most unimportant meal because it would kill you in the long run. Because you don't want your blood sugar that high when you first wake up. You're supposed to remain in a fasted state until about 12 noon when the sun is at its highest in the sky and your digestive fluids inside of your stomach is at its highest to break down the food so you can utilize all of those micro and macro molecules for energy.
All right, side question, because it's always a nigga trying to make something work. What about for runners? I run a lot.
So if you run a lot, that's different for you because you're always in a metabolic burning state. Okay. If you run a lot, that means you're always burning calories and energy. So your diet will be different. We can probably move that up to 10 a.m.
Okay, cool. I'm just curious.
But since you are a runner a lot, you should not start your meals with carbohydrates. You should start your meals with amino acid structures or what they call plant-based protein.
Okay, cool.
Because now that explains why you're so lean.
Okay, yeah,
you're a runner.
I run a lot. Yeah. All right, I know what you want to say about this. Well, what about counting calories?
Kill it.
Kill it. Vegan junk food.
Kill it.
Protein obsession.
Kill it.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have to ask you that. Sugar at birthday parties.
Kill
it for sure. Eating after 8 p.m.
Kill it because it'll kill you. Your body's focus all of that energy on digesting your food. And now you can't go through a state of autophagy and you can't turn over cells and you can't fast and wake up and take a poop from all of the stuff that your body got rid of the night before.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you this right now. I haven't eaten all day. When I leave from here, I'm getting me something to eat.
Fair. See, that's why I fuck with you. See, fair. All right. Somebody that might has a pretty decent diet, right? Mediocre diet, but they use supplements for whatever they lack.
I would say keep it because I still supplement. I was supposed to give me some IV therapy today.
All right, cold plunges.
Definitely keep it.
5 a.m. routines.
Definitely keep it because that way you're able to wake up, do your routine, and still watch the sunrise, which is the most healthiest thing that anybody can do in their life.
This is interesting. New Year's resolutions.
You can kill that shit. be the resolution.
Okay.
Not on the new year.
People saying everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation?
Keep it or kill it.
Definitely kill that.
Okay. Men ignoring the doctor because they feel fine.
Definitely kill that.
For sure.
Doctors are the best diagnosis and prognosis people I know in the world. Don't come to me to get diagnosed. Go to the doctor after they diagnose you, then come to me and I'll help you get rid of it.
Ooh, that's fire. Hustle culture.
Keep it and kill it, depending on the situation. Because sometimes you got to hustle. And I'm not talking about hustle as in being a huckster. I'm talking about hustle as in grinding. You know what I'm saying? You're on your 2-3 play because you got to get it to put food on your table. But if we talk about hustling as in scamming and getting people out of money and not providing the services that they pay for, definitely kill that.
Oh, for sure.
100%. So then if we ain't talking about that, keep the hustle. You can't spell hustle without the STL, and I'm from STL.
All right. We just talk about balance. But when you hustling, sometimes it ain't no balance. So what about work-life balance?
Work-life balance? You saying keep it or kill it?
Mm-hmm.
I say keep it. Make sure that you balance that out.
Okay.
I'm working on that right now.
Do you?
I realize that you're not a full man until you're able to manage your time.
Come on, man. So you don't. So you do think it's a balance in being great?
Oh, definitely. If we just talking about it, and that's why we just talking about Wall Street trial. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm definitely. That's why I said I'm spending way more time at home with my children. Definitely.
Because somebody, I remember before they would be like, "Yo, you gonna be great? Is it any balance?" I'm like, "Ain't no balance. The only balance is getting it work, getting it done."
Then you when you done and when you dying and on your deathbed, ain't none of them children gonna be here. The women ain't gonna be there. Everybody gonna be gone because you spent your life on the road.
Okay. What about therapy? For men specifically.
Definitely keep it. All men need therapy. We need therapy more than anybody on earth because we are the most damaged, traumatic childs walking around in man bodies there is, especially black men. We still little black boys inside of grown man bodies.
What about AI giving people health advice?
Keep it. AI have all the knowledge and all the research in the world. Now they putting all the stipulations and the guardrails on it, though, so it's going to take you back to big form of lives. But before then, during COVID period, keep it. Now, kill it. I say now, kill it.
Yeah.
Because they done caught up with it. They done shut it down. It ain't as sentient no more. It'll tell you to refer back to the bull crap now. But during COVID, though, when it first came out, and TikTok, man, AI was going crazy, boy. Telling you everything.
For sure.
So kill it now, but keep it back then.
Okay. All right, some just rapid fire questions. What's one food you would remove from every American household if you could tomorrow?
Seed oils and sugar. It got to be two, can't be one.
Damn.
Seed oils and sugar.
What you think about natural sugar though?
Yeah, I ain't talking about natural sugar, but natural sugar isn't what? Because any sugar that's taken out of the actual fruit is not a natural sugar. They isolated the chemistry and turned it into a neurotoxin because they isolated it. Natural sugar is a sugar that is mixed with actual fibers, which is the flesh of the fruit. It's mixed with juices, which is called H3O2 or H2O structured water. It's mixed with minerals and everything. So when you eat the fruit, the sugar is slowly released. If you take the sugar out, it rapid release in the bloodstream and it kills the liver.
I'm just curious now. It might be a keep it or kill it. When you think about keto diets, would you keep that or would you kill that?
Definitely keep it. I put people on plant-based ketogenic diets all the time.
I only say that because I tried the keto before. I went on a diet. I lost like 40 pounds.
Yeah, but you was eating meat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a plant-based ketogenic diet.
But even with the keto diet though, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't like it because I couldn't eat bananas, pineapples. I'm like, shit, that's my cheat. That's my way of...
Yeah, I got you. But some people, if you got fatty liver disease and you have diabetes mellitus 1, 2, or 3, which is Alzheimer's disease, I'll put you on a plant-based ketogenic diet.
Damn. And no meat at all?
No meat, though. Never no meat.
Shit. Damn. Okay. But we talked about it being a balance.
Yeah, but even though it's a balance, it's not a balance that I ever teach. Because I don't believe that our people are supposed to eat meat. We talk about Okinawans, which is Japanese, and I don't believe that I'm African at all, but there is Africans that do eat meat, but I don't identify as African. I'm indigenous American, and I've been here since the beginning of time. Me and my family, we didn't come from over there. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I disassociate myself from them or we not family. Somehow through DNA, we genetically resemble in some type of way, but I'm from America, and African Americans do not supposed to eat meat. It's bad for us.
Damn. Shit. Okay. All right. What you think one food is that, what's one food you think is unfairly,
demonized?
Mm-hmm.
Broccoli. Broccoli is the best superfood on the face of this earth.
Cool, because I love broccoli, bro.
There's nothing more powerful than broccoli, but everybody say broccoli is a hybrid. Broccoli is acidic. Broccoli is alkaline forming as hell. Broccoli is amazing for the body. It has something called glucoraphanase and sulforaphane in it. That's a part of a sulfur compound that binds the chemical, get it out of the body. It removes chemotherapy from the body. It turns over cells. It opens up detoxification pathways in the body. It's good for the liver. Broccoli is amazing. Amazing. So broccoli.
Okay. What's one health habit that almost everybody overcomplicates?
Dieting. There's so many different diets.
Okay.
So many. It's like 1,000 of them. Ketogenic diet, paleo diet, frugivore diet, plant-based diet, vegan diet.
Okay.
All you got to do is look into nature, see what resembles you the most, and eat like them, and you will live forever.
I like that. Okay, what's one health trend you think is overhyped?
One health I think is overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
I would say now sea moss.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it not good?
It's good for you, but it's just been overhyped so much that all of it is pool grown and pool form now. So you're not even getting the real source. And now we have this ideology that sea moss heals and cures all. In fact, they don't. So
Okay.
I would say that.
What's one thing somebody should do every morning?
Watch the sunrise.
Why?
Because you have something called melanopsin in the back of the eyes that absorb the sunlight, that restarts your biological clock and resets your circadian rhythm. It helps you burn your leptin. It helps you reduce your fat. It helps you de-stress you. It puts the right amount of cortisol in your blood. It have dopamine and serotonin at its height. It keeps you focused. It keeps you serious. It starts your day. Always watch a sunrise. It literally creates your day for you.
How long does that take? I'm just curious.
15 minutes.
For real?
15 minutes.
At what time?
You got to watch it while it's rising. Wait when it's rising, when it's red, when it's in there red, turning blue. 15 minutes, don't look directly at it. Look right on the side. Keep your eyes on the horizon. You'll lose weight. You'll gain muscle. You'll have more stimuli. You won't be as hungry throughout the day. I'm telling you. And then if you have morning sex after that, the craziest sex ever.
Damn, this nigga is cooking. All right. God damn. Okay. What's one thing people should stop doing every night?
Eating after sunset.
Okay. One lesson from Dr. Sabi you'll carry forever.
It ain't a lesson, it's what he said that changed my life. I have healed sickle cell anemia, leukemia, HIV, herpes. That's what stuck with me. I said, this nigga is lying.
Yeah.
And I kept listening. And I said, maybe he not lying, because he was so confident. The look on his face, how he used to do his hands when he talked. He used to scratch his beard and just talk about stuff that I never, ever heard. He was a superhero, man.
You think you could take somebody from like, I don't know the numbers or something, like let's say a kidney failure, like they have it's like 1%, operating at 1%. You think you could reverse that?
Well, I can't reverse anything. The body heals itself. I can just give you the knowledge and information and set you up an environment and make the body do what it do. We've seen people get off of they dialysis machines. I ain't gonna say hundreds of times because I'd be exaggerating, but at least 40 times.
And how fast?
About 2 to 3 months, depending on what stage of kidney failure you at. It's hard to bring them back when they at stage 5 and they can't urinate no more, though. I say that.
One belief you changed your mind about?
Shit, everything. My beliefs is always changing, because beliefs it's an illusion. You know, you can believe that you are the best basketball player in the world and you suck ass.
Right. Yeah.
You could believe that you're the best fighter in the world until you get in the ring with a dog. You could believe that you a gangster until that right one pull up on you. So you can believe anything. So
what's one thing that incarceration taught you?
That the only people that is made to be behind bars is serial killers and pedophiles.
That they the only people that do behind. Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hate pedophiles, bro.
Yeah.
I'm super forgiving, but that's one thing I can't.
Pedophiles and serial killers need to be behind bars, but that place is for animals, man. Yeah. I don't think that's for nobody but them two people I just said. And it's probably a few more, like, you know, crazy terrorists, but I think they should just go ahead and just get put down.
I think pedophiles, and I don't know if it's a word, but those who mess with like older people, I hate, bro. That shit makes my skin crawl.
So it's a place for them, but you know, somebody growing up and falling victim to their circumstances in their environment, definitely not, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember it was a day I was in there and I literally looked around and I said, I am not supposed to be here. Like, I'm talking about, my spirit, my cells, everything in my body, just, I recognized that I was in a foreign land, man. I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be here.
What's one book that changed your life?
One book that changed my life? The Blueprint to Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson.
Last question. One person
you
living.
What I just said? Get the Blueprint to Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson. Get that book, brother. Change your life.
We got it, Alex. He gonna make sure we gonna make sure we get that. One person living or dead, you have a 3-hour conversation with, that you want to have a 3-hour conversation with, that you would love to have that conversation with.
And that's
they can living or dead.
That's deep. If we're gonna say somebody that's outside of my bloodline, I would say Marcus Garvey, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. That's fine. If it's somebody in my bloodline, I would say my grandma.
I got more. I'm just quick. One thing fatherhood taught you.
That we never, ever, ever, we will always be continually learning how to be fathers. You never
That's
a perfect father.
That's a fact.
You're always learning how to be.
It's never
father.
a destination. It's always
never,
a journey,
man,
for sure.
Never. And when you suck at it, the children be thinking you the best, and when you the best, the children think you suck at it.
That's deep, boy.
It's a continuous thing. Being a father is a action word. You continuously being that,
and as long as you could continue to do it, bro, it's good. Like it's been times where I thought I was scared, man. I ain't gonna lie. I did some shit like fuck. Nah, just keep showing up, man. What's one thing that money taught you?
It's an illusion. It's all about currency, and you can create that shit out of thin air if you know how to do it.
But what's one thing that losing money taught you?
That I can get it again because I got it before.
What's one characteristic that every man need?
Discipline.
It's way more than motivation, right?
Way more than motivation. It actually discipline brings on motivation because usually men that are motivated is by disciplined niggas. You look at the discipline. I want to be like that. I want to notice we don't never really. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we really will celebrate is a man that's hitting multiple women until you get older. And you like, boy, you got a dirty dick. You around just hitting everything.
I celebrate a man that's with his wife. And
come on. So now, once you get that man state, we celebrate the disciplined man. So definitely discipline brings on motivation, brother. You're a smart brother, man.
I appreciate it, man. What's one characteristic that's destroying too many men? Shit, the opposite.
I would say, man, I would say this. I say one word: lust.
Boy,
lust.
Boy, come on, man. Shit, man. What's one thing man should know before getting married? Do you know?
One thing man should know before getting married? Oh, that's a good one. One thing a man should know before getting married. Himself.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Himself.
For sure.
Himself.
I say this, man. I put this on Threads. I'm like, man, it's so many beautiful women in the world. Now what?
Ooh, that's a deep.
Now what?
That's a decent. You hear that, Nabi? That's deep.
It's like, okay, now what? Like,
so it's
bro,
gonna go back to what we just said. One thing a man should know before getting married. Himself.
Yeah, nobody can never change. You can't change for somebody. You only gonna change when you want to change. At the end of the day,
that's deep.
Man. What's one thing that you still struggle with being disciplined about today?
Working too hard. What we've been talking about this whole time, being at home more.
If we had to think about the man that you're trying to become daily, if you could give me one word, what would it be to describe him?
I hope I don't offend anybody, but I'm going to say one word: Messiah.
For sure. I love that. I don't know how crazy this is. I have way more questions, but I'm going to just give you your time. I say this all the time. I said, man, I want to have so much information that I become like Lucy. I don't know if you watched that movie.
Lucy is one of my favorite movies. Especially, a lot of people like when she hit 100%. When she hit 100%, she disappeared. But that 20%, when she was at 20%, was the best part of the movie. Showing you it don't take that much to do a lot with.
Oh, you just cooked that. That was crazy. I didn't even think of it like that. But I say I want so much information and I think it's scary because it's like I'm steady. It's like it's almost no place where you can be okay with contentment. It's like because I'm steady chasing more information.
That's because you have an open-ended consciousness. And the only thing you can do is fill it up. You just constantly fill. That's the whole point of being here, though. That's the whole point of life. That's what you got hands for, to touch things and experiment things. What you got eyes for. These are all information gatherers. What you got legs to walk for. Consciousness wanted to experience reality, so it created a body. This body is a tool to grab information. And you take it, you download it, and then through your biological evolutionary history, you give it to the ones that come after you. And this cycle continue through all the universities. You're in the school, brother.
Hopefully we can do this again, bro. Hey, bro, I love what you got going on, man. I salute it 1,000,000%. If I can support it anyway, I promise you, bro. I mean that from my heart. I don't just say that. Woo, boy.
We're doing it now, brother. We're doing it now.
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yahki Awakened, everybody. Is there anything you need to? Man, they probably know. You talk every day.
Yeah, but y'all can find me at www.yahkiawakened.com. For those that don't know me, my name is Dr. Yochai Rafa Elohim. Everybody call me Yahki Awakened. You can find me on social media at Yahki Awakened. Make sure that you only follow to the blue verified check page. It's a bunch of AI and a bunch of people, imposters, pretending to be me that ain't me. And Chol HaChavol y'all. All praises to the Most High. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon.
Mr. J Hill, it's a wrap, guys. We out.
Damn!